Hey guys, what's up? Paladin here. I decided I wanted to redo this video simply for the fact that the other one was kind of not straightforward and I don't know, it was kind of weird and I kind of dragged it out by accident. So without further ado, um I want to talk about next gen consoles like for the 50th time. Um Jesus, I don't even know where to begin. Again, this is kind of hard to talk about because as a guy that's been playing consoles since he was like 8, I'm 18, so that's 10 years. Um, yeah, for a guy that's been playing consoles since he was 8, it's very difficult to see them start to diminish. Because if you guys think about it, like, come on, let's be practical here. Um, which, by the way, before you call me out on this, my PC is not a gaming PC. It is not. It's an AMD 4 core. It's not a FX 4 core either. It's like a fucking, what is it? An A8 5. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's like a A8 55, not 55. 5500. I don't know how to actually say the the number. I feel stupid. But anyways, it's that, and it doesn't even have like a legit GPU in it. It's like a 7400 and it's like a 7470. I think that's what it is, and it's got 1 GB of RAM in it. Which there you go. It's like it can play like small time stuff. That's about it. Definitely can let me watch HD videos on YouTube though. But anyways, moving on though. I was all excited about next gen because they were like 8 cores and they were 8 GB of RAM, and it was just it was like they're both Blu-ray drives, so that means more disk space on both of them. The PS3 already had it, but you know, I was happy about the Xbox for that. And then they showed all the things they could do, and they said that they showed off some gameplay and stuff from them, and I was like, wow, this is really cool looking and awesome and stuff. And it's really depressing to hear that the Wii U has more 1080p 60 frames per second exclusives than the freaking Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's kind of depressing. I don't even know how that works, but anyways, yeah, so the Xbox One, here's an example, plays Call of Duty at 1080p, not 1080p, my bad, 720p 60 frames per second. It is native 720, but it will upscale to 1080p every now and then, though it's not legit 1080p. And then for the PlayStation 4, it's always at 1080p 60 frames per second, meaning that the PlayStation 4, you cannot deny that the PlayStation 4 is not more powerful than the Xbox One, just simply for the fact that it has faster RAM and a better GPU, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the PlayStation 4 is more powerful than the Xbox One. If you try somehow to try and attempt to say that the Xbox One is more powerful, that's pretty depressing. Now that's just talking about the way the game's resolutions are. I'm fairly happy with the Xbox One, simply for the fact that Microsoft got their shit together, and the only thing that I'm still worried about is the Kinect, because that thing seriously should not come with the console. I'm sorry, it's so pointless. I don't understand why it still comes with the console. You could make the console $350 by getting rid of the Kinect, because the Kinect costs $500 to fucking manufacture. I still don't know how that stupid camera is that much to manufacture, but anyways, so yeah, the Kinect is like $500 to make. I don't know, I don't even want to know how much the Xbox One is to make, but anyways, to be honest, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are mid-range gaming PCs, especially with the way they showed off the specs at E3. It was ridiculous how much they seemed like PCs when they showed off the specs. Something that the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 need to seriously do, though, is the Steam box recently got pictures shown of it and everything. The Steam box is just such an ingenious design. I cannot push that enough. It's like literally a processor and everything sitting inside the thing like a normal computer, and then like it's thick enough, so that means it's pretty tall when you lay it down. But I mean, it's thick enough to fit a GPU in there, like an actual GPU. Like there's a 780 version and there's a Titan version of the Steam box, which I don't really see why you'd buy the Titan version there unless it has extra features. Don't buy it, just buy the 780 version. But anyways, and then there's a lower version than the 780. But I'd probably go for the 780 version, depending on how much it costs, however. But that's getting off topic. I'll talk about that in another video, how I feel about the Steam box and everything. But the next-gen consoles are running at, like, 720p, 60 frames per second, or they're running at 1080p, 30 frames per second. I mean, more times it'll probably be 60 frames, 720, because they want the smoother gameplay, but it's just really depressing to see that they can't do 1080p, 60 frames per second for all games. It's ridiculous. Like, dude, 60 frames per second, 1080p was a thing in, like, 2008 for PCs. It's just really depressing to see that. I mean, like, when I say depressing, I mean for me. Because, like I said, I grew up with consoles and everything. Sort of. I think when I was younger, I played games too, but they weren't, like, they were kid games on, like, the PlayStation 1 and stuff like that. So I kind of came in late. My first console was a PlayStation 1, but then I played on a N64 and all those greats back in the day. But I kind of got into it late. I was born in 1995, by the way. But moving on. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand, man. You got these consoles and they're like mid-range gaming PCs when just, I mean, I don't understand why they can't just put like a legit GPU in it. Why does it have to be an integrated GPU? And another thing that they need to do is they need to make the fan inside of the consoles bigger so they can make a higher clocked a CPU. Because I heard that the CPU, the 8 cores inside of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they're like clocked at 1.9 gigahertz. Now, for a tablet or a smartphone, that sounds awesome. But hey, guess what? This is an entire gaming console. It should be like at least it should be in the 2s first of all. Even I don't even understand why it's 1.9. It should just be 2 gigahertz. But anyways, it should be like 2.5 gigahertz or higher. That's what it should be on each and every core. And then also the RAM, 8 gigs is nice for video games, but I'd say 12, maybe 16. I'd say 12 more though. 16 is more video editing and stuff like that. Well, it does have video, yeah, it does have actually in-game DVR and recording and stuff, so you might as well actually fucking have 16 gigs on there, since the PlayStation 4 actually, I think it's the PlayStation 4, it might be the Xbox One though, or maybe both. I think that they both, or either or, have a video editor in them, so yeah, there you go. If you wanna freaking make it 16 gigabytes, you should. The main problem that I have with next-gen consoles is, again, there needs to be a legit GPU in them. You cannot keep stuffing, integrated graphics into a console. I know it's more efficient, it saves the company money, but come on, guys. If you think about it, here's the thing. If you sell a next-gen console for, like, $500, if the PS4 was $500, if they were both $500 and they both had if they were both $500 and they were both what's the word I'm looking for here, if they both had non-integrated, they had dedicated GPUs. Let's say, for example, they both had a GTX, maybe. Okay, well, it's AMD, so we'll say it's like a 7970. If they both had that inside of it, that would be better than the integrated GPU that it's running on, because there you go. You got 3 gigabytes of RAM of a video card, which is beefy, which means you could even have a multi-monitor setup with your console, which is awesome. And then they could also stick in, like, you know, more games in it and shit. That would be perfectly fine. And then make the CPU, like, 2.5 gigahertz or higher, like I said. And stuff like a bigger fan in it. Because, I mean, having one fan that's huge is fine and all, but to be honest, it should have, like, 2 huge fans. Like, two, like, 120 millimeters or something. Maybe 2 190s, or not 190, whoa, that's too big. Maybe 290 millimeters, I mean. Those aren't huge, but it would probably still cool a console. And then make sure there's, like, how I would picture that is that there's 2 fans on the top of the console blowing air upwards, which is a smart idea. That's why I like the slim Xbox 360, by the way. And then have vents on the back and then the sides, or maybe one of the sides of the console. Maybe the top, because people like to stand up their consoles, but you're not supposed to do that with the Xbox One, and I wouldn't really recommend it with the PlayStation 4 either, but the PlayStation is known to be pictured hanging up from the vertically instead of horizontally, so whatever. But I'm just rambling now. All I'm saying is, guys, I'm gonna get an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, but it's gonna mainly just be for the exclusives, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to eventually save up, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my PC. Then after that, I'm going to try and save up and get the next-gen consoles. And then that'll be it for that. I'll probably play them rarely. I'll play them for the exclusives. I'll play them for the exclusives multiplayer, like, for example, Halo. But that'll be about it. Or Killzone, Shadowfall, because I kind of want to play that badly. And it was just depressing because, I mean, the reason it's so depressing is because you see a game like Killzone Shadowfall and you're like, wow, that looks so amazing, and then you realize on PC it probably looks a million times even better than that. Unless it's a PC port, which is pretty... I mean, not PC port. Unless it's a console port, and a very... see, here's the thing with console... Well, you know what? You know what, I might as well talk about it now, just really quick. Here's the thing with console ports. If you're going to have a console port on a PC... Come on, developers. Just please, make it a good console port. Make it so it actually does make the game look different from the console versions, at least a little bit, instead of making it either look worse or just the same. I mean, the whole point of having a PC is having a better graphical experience on a PC. And it's just like, you give us a gaming... you know, a console port, and it's just kind of like, people get really mad at that. But anyways, that's just what I think about next gen. I think that they are innovative and that it is a step forward, but and they're powerful, yes. But here's the thing. Microsoft stated that, I don't know if it was Sony too, but Microsoft stated that they wanted to use the Xbox One for like 10 years, which is longer than the 360 and PlayStation 3's lifespan. That's not going to happen. We're going to see another pair of next-gen consoles probably within 5 years. It's just developers are going to complain like they did with the 360 and PlayStation 3. They're going to want more powerful hardware just so they have more space to work with. I mean, if you look back, Gears of War 1 wasn't going to run on the 360 unless they put in more RAM. So, I mean, that already tells you something right there. I mean, that console was already going to be maxed out at the beginning. But Cliffy B was like, nah, hell no. We need more RAM, bro. We need at least we need some more RAM. You gotta double this, brah. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's my take on it. That's my opinions on it. I'm still going to get them, but I'm a little disappointed, and I'm a little, happy about them a little bit too, since it is a step forward. It's always a good thing to be a step forward, but in terms of all around gaming, it's still technically a step behind, which is why I'm still kind of disappointed. But anyways, thank you much for watching. I hope you possibly agreed on my opinion. Be sure to leave a comment down below about how you feel about things, and remember though about the comments, if you have a question for me, please, for the love of God, send me a PM or talk to me on Twitter and or Facebook, which those links are in the description below. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Be sure to stay sexy, guys, and like and subscribe for more, and peace. Later. Homie G's. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. See ya.